So Andy, we didn't get a chance to speak to you last week after the Danylyzsyn game. What were your overall thoughts from that match?
Unfortunately, we're in a day and age where it's really hard to speak because it feels like your lips are tight-lipped. If you sort of the freedom of speech, I feel, has gone out some of these interviews. Hence why some of the characters out of football have gone out in the interviews. So if I speak what I feel, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But in terms of to try and make it professional, for 75 minutes, the game was excellent. The lads was tremendous last week against Leiston. Their work ethic was excellent. But for an incident to go on where there's a space, the game gets stopped and there's a tackle. I understand in life we're all human beings, and you know we might get a thing wrong. But how we proceeded to get 3 players sent off who look nothing like the person who made the tackle is beyond me. And also what I'm going to say is this is at this level of football and National League and League 2 and League 1, I have never witnessed anyone go and get evidence from a photographer on the side of Leiston's photographer and use that photo to make a decision on the football pitch. For me, that's wrong, because obviously Leiston have got their own staff and they're going to be for Leiston, which is obvious. I understand that, but that shouldn't be happening in the game. And for any decision that brings the game, it brings the game into question. Because the rules of the game it brings into question, because that's not within the rules of the game when I've researched it this week. So I think that the boys was excellent with 11 men, and I thought the boys when they went down to 9 men was excellent. And the tackle that Chris Cox made, I've slowed it down maybe 1,000 times. I've watched it maybe 50 times, and he's won the ball cleanly. And you know, it's the way the ref was surrounded, we're not happy with. But I thought the boys was excellent, and their attitude in the changing rooms last week was absolutely top draw. The togetherness there, the fight that they showed on the pitch, and in the changing rooms, the lads deserve all the credit. They was brilliant, and I'm really proud of the boys of how they conducted themselves in that situation and after the game, and how that's carried on to this week.
We've seen a massive improvement in the second game, better temperament from the boys, no red cards, no penalties, main things to be noted, and better refereeing performance. We actually had a word about that, even though, however, a card is given, that some unfortunate, so some you can't blame the lads for some of them, but we've got to make sure that we keep 11 men on the pitch to have a chance to be successful. So we spoke about that. The lads actually managed that themselves and brought that up, and that's what I mean about the group. That was good. I actually thought that last week's performance was as good as this week's performance, but I think there was something. But then what happened today is that we was clinical in their moments. So yeah, it was the temperament of the lads was good today for me. The work ethic, what I call the art run and the art fight stuff, was really good from the boys, and that's what's seen them through the game. Because Royston, if you're going to play Royston, you've got to be prepared to work tremendously hard. You've got to be prepared to defend your box and be physically very assertive. And I think that Royston are a good side at what they do. And I thought the lads managed that really well today. Yeah, focusing on today's game, it was a fantastic performance from the lads. Really could have scored more than we did. Yeah. Their goal came, was it a set piece?
Yeah.
And we defended very well apart from that. There were very few chances from them. Obviously we had the one-on-one and the crossbar hit just before their goal, I think. Yeah. Very good signs from the lads for the season ahead. Yeah,
in pre-season, I think what's really important is that obviously there's been a lot of new signings this week and this season, and when you make them new signings it doesn't click straight away. The principles of what you want to do, it takes time. Some of the patterns take time. The standards and expectations you can put in there, but they take time to integrate and to be part of the culture of the club. So we've gone from obviously being very defensive last year and clean sheets because we needed that at the time. That's what was required. And we've got to make sure that we sort of give the team time to evolve. It's not built straight away, but some of the principles that we've put into the boys,
are really good, and I can see them. Sometimes they might get little bits wrong, but I can accept that because their work ethic and their mindset and their application is really good. So that will take time to sort of gel the relationships, the partnerships. There was spells where I was really happy with some of the stuff today that we did, and that's credit to the lads because they're buying. But there was spells where we can improve and we can be better with what we do in the final third. I thought some of the play was excellent, and finishing's one of them things. We have two very good chances. They score the actual set piece when we look back was a foul. He's been blocked and pushed by someone else to get the free header on the back stick. That's hard to see in that melee of the amount of players that they were, but it's one of them things. But yeah, I was very happy with the way we defended, especially because because of the sort of what has happened last week. Unfortunate to the lads, we've had 2 sending offs to 2 defenders, which obviously doesn't help. I thought the lads what went in today was top draw.
Very good pressing intensity as well from the lads. They really stuck at it for the whole game. We could see that Royston was struggling by the end. Their stamina was kind of waning because of the constant press the boys had them under, and I think that comes down to a lot of your work as well as the lads.
Yeah, I've got to give some. How can I put it? Plaudits to Jamie Capes in there, who's sort of our S&C and physio. His background is triathlete. His experience to understand running and running distances are really good. And what I will say is, I'm sort of high intensity running is a big sort of part of my philosophy. But the lads in pre-season was asking for more. The lads at games after, when they don't play, show a great attitude. They do more. And Jamie's input in terms of the running, in monitoring that, in putting some of that running on, they have to take the credit for that, and the boys buy in to do that running, because running is one of them things where it's a mental discipline as well as physical discipline. So for me, Jamie Capes has to take a lot of that credit, and the boys, I remember Ryan Beswick, Matty Stenson, Joe Magunda, some of the older lads were talking about standards and running in pre-season, and I can see that. But what we've got to do is we've got to keep on top of that. That's got to be a theme of the football club as a standard when the fans come and watch, that Nuneaton Borough are hard working side and they have the capability to do that. But yeah, I thought talking on some of them players there, I thought that all the team was good. I thought Joe Magunda had Muzza and the centre forwards and right hand full. I thought Joe Magunda and Ozzy was excellent against him. And Bez in the week or last week got married, and obviously you enjoy your wedding, and spoke to Bez all week about his conditioning, and I'll manage myself because of the injury. I can get through it, Andy, for the team. And today I thought the way he managed himself and managed the game, he's top draw, and a credit to himself and a credit to the football club and his teammates. So yeah, really chuffed with some of all the lads. But yeah. Thank you for the interview, Andy. All the best for the rest of the season and for next week's game against Borough and the midweek game against Basford. Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks. Cheers.